Immediately they rush Gaara from different angles, as Gaara tries to use the sand to grab onto any of them and crush them, using a sand coffin, but they're just both too fast, and using a wind-style fire jutsu combo, they would be able to turn his sand into glass, as Sasuke would rush towards his blind side, stabbing a Chidori into Gaara, as he would scream out in utter pain, as he would go on a grab onto Sasuke's head with his sand arm, and would begin to crush his head, asking, "Any last words, Uchiha?" As Sasuke would just say, "Look behind you." And at this moment, Naruto would jump from behind Gaara as he would go in to land a tremor punch, but Gaara, using his other arm, would actually send Naruto flying into another tree as he would go crashing through it, and suddenly, in our perspective, which this is something that we could see, the clone would pop into a shadow clone, revealing that that wasn't Naruto at all, as Sasuke would smile at Gaara, who would have actually turned to him smiling, thinking that, he had won, that Naruto was not going to be doing anything. But in that moment, Naruto would fall from a tree from a tree branch that's above him, and he would grab onto Gaara's head, as immediately he would trigger his tremor ability on Gaara's brain, literally rattling his entire body and knocking him out, putting him in a vegetable-like state as they would begin to celebrate. But suddenly, Shukaku would awaken. As in this moment, Naruto and Sasuke realized that that wasn't the true danger. This was. Immediately, Shukaku would form into this gigantic sized like kaiju creature, as Gaara this time can't even wake up. So in this timeline, they straight up have to kill him. And Naruto, realizing this, would have to hesitate in that moment, but Sasuke, fueled by the fact that he's getting angry and he's running low on chakra, would just think to himself that he can't sit here and just watch this battle or let Gaara kill them. He would decide that it's all or nothing, and so Naruto and Sasuke, doing their best, would try to actually take Gaara out, knocking him out or doing something to this gigantic beast that is no longer even Shukaku. They would both fail, with Naruto realizing that his tremor abilities are practically fully negated by the fact that Gaara is made entirely of sand, because this sand, while it is tremored, it doesn't matter. The sand could just come back together and clump itself back up like crazy sand. And Sasuke, having lightning style, is the only one that can actually inflict any damage on this sand, causing it to actually crystallize from the electric charge that would actually shoot through the sand. And so for the first time ever, Naruto would actually sit there and watch as Sasuke would go completely unhinged, relying on the power of a curse mark for a one last blow, and Sasuke would actually manage to land this blow right on Gaara's chest, which would cause Shukaku to immediately scream "no!" as a bunch of sand constructs come flying at Sasuke, trying to prevent this, but it would be too late. And in that moment, all that sand that would have amounted to this gigantic mountain looking thing would fall down to the ground, as instantly you could just see Naruto and Sasuke falling alongside the body of a dead Gaara, as Naruto was just watching that, realizing that he wasn't gonna be able to kill him. It's one thing to kill a bloodlusted Gaara who's giving them absolutely no other choice, and it's another thing to kill Gaara who's not even in control of his body anymore. Naruto feels horrible for the fact that he has to put him down, because if Naruto was in that position, he would not want anybody to kill him. He would want them to figure out another way, but before Naruto even had the chance, Sasuke had already pierced him with the Chidori. And so Naruto just has to sit there and watch and kind of see Sasuke pass out alongside Gaara, as he would go back to the village, taking the both of them and revealing to the Sand Village that Gaara was dead. They would be extremely angry with the Leaf Village, and not just that, but the Akatsuki, when they find out about this, are gonna be in for a rude awakening, which I still am not entirely sure what's gonna happen with that, but I am going to be leaving it up to you guys in the comments. I am not going to be having Shukaku come back because he's chakra and the chakra is eventually going to come back. No, none of that. Shukaku's dead. I didn't like the way that Kishimoto added that to the series, so I'm removing it entirely. I do not care. So let me know what you guys personally think the Akatsuki are now going to be doing in this timeline due to the fact that they lost the One Tails. How are they going to be able to use the power of the One Tails to awaken the 10 Tails, and have their goals been halted? Question mark. Let me know down below in the comments. But other other than that, what pretty much would end up going down is Naruto finds out about the death of Hiruzen, and obviously this hits him like a train. Think back to what happens when Naruto find out that Jiraiya had died. That's pretty much what happens, but way earlier on. And eventually Jiraiya, seeing that Naruto was like borderline depressed, would end up basically telling him to come along with him for a search for Tsunade. And so that's exactly what would happen. That's exactly what would happen. Naruto and Jiraiya go from town to town trying to find Tsunade anywhere that they can, mainly looking at a bunch of bars and pubs and stuff like that and a bunch of gambling areas, but eventually Naruto would spend most of his time alongside Jiraiya and would develop a couple more vibration-like attacks. Now, this is where I sort of have to take creative liberty with the powers that Vibration Devil Fruit and the Gura Gura no Mi actually can give, because from what we've seen in the anime, the clips that we've gotten from Whitebeard and the abilities that we've seen Blackbeard perform, they're all pretty much the same. And while I'm not saying that those abilities are weak per se, they're kind of hard to land if Naruto isn't like one of the fastest characters in the series, which, speaking of being one of the fastest characters in the series, I'm thinking of making a what if Naruto was Speedo Sound Sonic. Let me know what you guys think about that one down below in the comments, and I might do that one if you guys, like, enough of you guys comment, make it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm gonna sort of be taking a little bit of liberty with the vibration abilities, and I'm actually gonna be having you guys tell me what powers Naruto should actually learn to use during this trip. Naruto's not gonna use them during this trip because he's gonna be working on them, and that's like the excuse that we're gonna give for the Naruto story. But yeah, just give me your ideas down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to implement them as much as I can. The ones that aren't too crazy, and then the ones that are really OP, I'll be using them towards like the end game of the series and stuff like that. But like I said, with that happening, Naruto would pretty much just embark on this mission with Jiraiya, and like you guys would expect, eventually he would end up bumping into Itachi and Kisame. Now, bumping into these two is where things would start to majorly start changing, because in the original, Naruto sort of found himself in this situation where he was powerless, but this time, Naruto isn't entirely powerless, but he is at the same time, because Naruto understands that if he uses his abilities, he could very well destroy this hotel, ruin this person's way of life, because they're not going to be able to have money, and Naruto was going to get himself in a huge amount of debt, if not have to spend another day trying to rebuild this thing. And if he does that, they will not find Tsunade. But if he doesn't, he might not get out of the situation. Naruto understands that he's not facing some nobodies, he's facing Itachi and Kisame, and this is serious. This is no time for games. So Naruto would think to himself that it's pretty much now or never. But luckily for him, before anything could happen, Sasuke would lunge into that situation screaming out, "Itachi!" And so Sasuke pretty much ends up being more of a distraction for this entire situation that would end up going on, and Kisame would actually be the only one that Naruto has to worry about. But Kisame is just standing there kind of looking at Naruto, intimidating him, with Naruto thinking to himself that he wishes he could wipe that smug look off his face. But the two of them pretty much just end up facing to turn towards the direction of Itachi, as he would put Sasuke in a genjutsu. And a quick question that some of you guys might ask in the comments is, yo, does like Sasuke and Naruto fight after the Gaara battle? And the answer to that is no, because Sasuke this time doesn't feel like, oh, I'm so inferior to Naruto, because he's the one that landed the finishing blow on Shukaku, and he didn't feel like, whoa, like Naruto can do all this, like this is Naruto, so that he feels like they're sort of even, and he doesn't feel that insecurity. But after this, being called weak, realizing that the Akatsuki's literally after Naruto, oh, he's gonna be feeling some sort of way. But I might probably end up having to cover that on the next part. Actually, none of that. I'm gonna cover that on this part, and I'm gonna get straight to the like Shippuden in this video specifically. I don't care how long it takes, whether it be 25 minutes, 30 minutes, or 20 minutes, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, that ends up taking place. Sasuke ends up getting placed in the Tsukiyomi Jutsu, and eventually Jiraiya would arrive right on time. Right after Kisame would have practically hit Naruto with his blade, sapping some of his chakra and sending him crashing into one of the dressers that was nearby. So Naruto would have just been slammed into it, and he would have been about to actually use his tremor fruit on the hotel to pretty much, you know, throw Kisame off guard. But at this moment, Jiraiya would arrive, save the day, and eventually we jump cut to what happens after this, which is pretty much Guy arriving, taking Sasuke back to the village, and Naruto realizing that Sasuke's brother is a monster if he was able to take him out and nullify Sasuke as easily as he did. Because like Naruto knows he could beat Sasuke, but as easy as he did, he doesn't think he's there quite yet. And the way that Kisame attacked him and sapped his chakra, Naruto had never seen anything like that. that before, and he would question Jiraiya on if there was any way that he could have possibly beaten him, with Jiraiya saying that it was completely unlikely, that even though Naruto has the firepower to take them both out easily, Naruto isn't able to land that firepower, and Naruto's gonna be needing to get faster and not faster and but he would just look at him and be like, you need to get faster like today, like not tomorrow, today. You need to be able to get this insane speed as soon as possible, and if you don't, all those abilities are pretty much gonna go to waste. And Naruto just sits there thinking about this, as eventually they would end up finding Tsunade. And one interesting thing that changes here is that when Tsunade starts to actually badmouth the Kage, what we would pretty much end up having happen is Naruto gets royally pissed. He gets so unbelievably angry because of just the gravity of what he's hearing. Like, not only is Naruto hearing her disrespect the Kages this time around, but Naruto is just so much closer to Hiruzen, and hearing that would even bring like slight tears to his eyes as he looks at her and just says, "Take that back." But she looks at him and smiles at him as he starts shaking the entire building with his aura and his tremor fruit abilities. He's just tapping the ground, with Tsunade looking at him with like shock in her eyes, and Jiraiya putting his hand over Naruto saying, not now, not here, Naruto. And he would like slightly calm down, right? As Tsunade says that this kid really just tried to challenge her, and Jiraiya says it's not like that. She just hit a soft spot in Naruto, and she would say, whatever, like, I bet this kid couldn't land a blow. And he would just look at her being like, wanna bet? Which would eventually lead us into the battle between Naruto and Tsunade, which obviously I could get into, and it will really be a cool moment, but just due to the pacing of this series and how slow I've had it be, I really can't afford to do this, because if I do, the series is gonna end up being super long. And judging by the fact that, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but whenever videos like this happen and I do like series parts, you guys watch, like, a lot of you guys watch part 1, half of you guys watch part 2, 1/3 watch part 3, and even less people watch like part 4, part 5 and stuff like that. So I sort of have to try to finish this series in as least amount of parts as possible, just to explain to you guys why I'm not really going into details with this fight. But what I will say is Naruto ends up landing the blow. Using the Guriguru no Mi blow to the ground, he would end up shaking everything around them, and with this diversion, Naruto would go jumping in towards Tsunade and land a powerful blow straight to her stomach, which rattles her to her core. Time practically stops, and Tsunade coughs out blood, just passing out. She is completely unconscious, and she is not going to be waking up for at least a couple days. So this means that the whole Orochimaru encounter, that doesn't happen, because the way that I see it is Orochimaru is not going to be like searching Tsunade out. He told her to meet him at a certain spot, and if she doesn't show up, he's just going to sort of assume that she's like pretty much saying no, or he's going to realize that she's alongside Jiraiya and that kid, and himself knowing that he doesn't have his arms and that Kabuto and himself probably won't be enough to take them out. Orochimaru doesn't even dare to go after them and try to attack them like he would in the original, sort of understanding that it would be a double-edged sword that could stab him in the back really, really hard. And so Naruto and Tsunade end up returning back to the village, as what we pretty much end up getting here is a sort of heart-to-heart, with Naruto practically being at Tsunade's bedside, and he would be asleep there. As Tsunade finally wakes up, and Naruto just like straight up looks at her and apologizes, like, no more games, no more anger, no silliness. He just tells her straight up that he is so sorry, and that he's been dealing with a lot of things since the old man passed, that he practically was like a grandpa to him and his father figure. And Tsunade just looks at him saying she understands, and that, you know, she was drunk, she probably said something to set him off. They end up having a really, really tight-knitted heart-to-heart moment, and Tsunade and Naruto end up sort of gaining this like weird understanding to each other of like why things turned out this way. But ultimately, Naruto practically begs Tsunade to heal his sensei Kakashi, as well as Sasuke, and she would do so after like 3 days, which would eventually lead to oh wait, you know what I just realized? Wait, does the fight happen after they get Tsunade or before they get Tsunade? Because now I'm starting to think that it might happen after. Yeah, low-key, I think it happens after. That's crazy. I just realized that earlier section where I was just yapping about whether it happens or not was completely like, it doesn't matter. I'm so sorry for wasting your guys' time. But this time around, the fight will happen. Sorry for the confusion. Naruto is instantly challenged by Sasuke. One, due to the fact that Naruto practically promised him a one-on-one fight, and Sasuke, after having all these weird emotions in his head after the encounter with Itachi, would just be in a bad state of mind line, and this would lead to a one-on-one fight where Sasuke would be off his game and Naruto would just not be trying to get into this right now. So what pretty much ends up taking place is they get into it, and Sasuke would actually try to land a Chidori, which would actually set Naruto off, being like, are you kidding me? Like, you're trying to straight up kill me. So he would use his Gura Gura no Mi ability on Sasuke, actually grabbing Sasuke's wrist before Sasuke could actually hit the attack, and using his vibration through Sasuke's arm, causing it to go entirely numb. Sasuke from here would try to throw a kick, but Kakashi would come in, stop it, and say, the fight's over, Sasuke. You lost. Just accept it. And from here, he just like grits his teeth looking at Naruto, realizing that he wasn't as close to Naruto as he had thought. He literally caught his arm just like his brother did. And Sasuke would just get angrier and angrier, which ultimately would lead us to Sasuke's downfall, falling into the hands of the curse mark 4. What are they called again? The sound 4? Yeah, the sound 4. Ultimately leading into his downfall with the sound 4 and leading us to the Sasuke retrieval arc, in which every single event that happens in this arc goes exactly the same. Is what I would say if Naruto didn't have the Gura Gura no Mi, because with that power, Naruto isn't linked with chakra. So when Jirobo tries to seal them inside of that little like rock dome thing, Naruto just straight shatters it. And instead of having like a one-on-one fight with each individual member, what would pretty much take place is like all of them are just straight up gonna fight the Sound 4 there, but it's horrible for them because this means that they're gonna have to be fighting a Sound 4 that has literally perfect chemistry. So by the end of this battle, they're all gonna come out extremely battle damaged, and it's gonna be a super high difficulty battle. But you could also say that due to the fact that the rookies have the ability of like teamwork on their side as well, it would sort of go the same. Here, I'm not gonna lie, Neji is gonna die, Kiba is gonna die, Choji is dang near gonna be left in a state where he practically dies, and Naruto is gonna be drained of a lot of energy. He's gonna be having a lot of battle damage, not to mention he still has to keep going forward and face off against Kimimaro after getting done with that. So now Naruto's gonna be facing Kimimaro off. Eventually Lee's gonna arrive, help him with that situation, but now we're gonna get a drained Naruto who's gonna have to be going up against a Sasuke, which finally is gonna be leading us to a Naruto enraged Nine-Tail state again. And with this battle taking place, I can see it going one of two ways. Either option A, Naruto instantly just loses it, gets really angry at Sasuke, or he tries to be understanding. And honestly, because of the fact that he has the devil fruit that he has, I kind of have to give him that sort of understanding approach, just because it's like, dude, we saw Whitebeard literally get stabbed and then proceed to forgive his crewmate. Like, who does that? So it's just like, I have to, guys. Like, I really do. So the battle would be like a really, really intense and interesting one, but ultimately what would pretty much take place is that Sasuke would drag Naruto right down to where the water's at, leaving Naruto in a state where he practically begins to like almost drown if he would have actually hit the water. And Sasuke was literally trying to kill him, knowing of his weakness, like with Naruto being like, does he know? And you know, Sasuke like revealing that he knows his weakness. And so right before he actually makes contact with the water, Naruto straight punches the ground, releasing one of his most biggest Gura Gura no Mi attacks, practically leaving that entire area without any water. With Sasuke looking at Naruto and saying that that was smart, but how's he gonna stop this? Shooting more and more and more water attacks at Naruto, with Naruto being like, when did you? And Sasuke saying, to defeat you, Naruto, as he would rush in towards his direction, and Naruto using the Gura Gura no Mi ability would punch at the air, creating a barrier that would protect Naruto from this water, as Naruto looks to Sasuke and just tells him that he's gonna give him one last chance to come back and stop all of this nonsense. But Sasuke's just losing it. His Curse Mark 2 powers are amping his insanity more and more, and Naruto is pretty much just forced to look at Sasuke and sort of understand that he has to take him out. And so Naruto rushes in towards the direction of Sasuke, and you can sort of think about it in a sense of like, Sasuke is going to be like Blackbeard, in the sense that he's practically betraying his comrade, somebody that he's fought countless battles with, and Naruto is just sitting there like as he's preparing himself to launch a full-scale attack on Sasuke, but before he does it, he remembers like the flashbacks run through his head of all their good moments, and Naruto just sort of like aims for a different spot, leading Sasuke to pierce him straight in the chest and Naruto to fall down onto both knees as he just stays there like on the ground. with Sasuke fully believing that he actually killed Naruto, and Naruto just staying on the ground, bleeding out as like no chakra would start seeping out, and Naruto's just sitting there, like his heart is just thumping, like his heart like is thumping slowly, and then it just disappears. And Sasuke Mangekyo Sharingan awakens as he just says, "Pathetic. And here I thought you were stronger than me. Guess that's changed, huh, Naruto?" As he just runs off. And Naruto in this moment, like his heart would start like thumping once again as vibrations would start to like palpitate in his heart, and Naruto would start to feel slight bits of chakra like healing him, as that entire chunk of skin would start closing back up, and Naruto would just stay on the ground, like just not even moving, until finally Kakashi would end up arriving and seeing what went down, questioning Naruto on what happened to Sasuke, and Naruto saying that he failed Sasuke, he let him end up the villain, the exact thing that he never would have wanted to do. And so we would pretty much just get this moment where Naruto and Kakashi just sit there pondering this, and eventually we would jump cut to Naruto during the 3-year time skip. Here, Naruto's going to be learning all these incredibly insane and powerful abilities, which I'm going to be taking your guys' suggestions down below in the comments, and I'm also going to be revealing a slight bit of what's going to be happening in this next arc. Naruto and Haku. I'm just going to leave it at that. Remember, Haku isn't dead, and Haku just so happened to find Zabuza's dead body, knowing that it had to have been Team 7. So Haku wants vengeance, and he's been doing nothing but training every single day, growing in his power of his Kekkei Genkai and learning to be even more of a threat than the one that we get in the Land of the Waves arc. This is going to be entirely replacing the Kazekage arc, and if you guys are going to be wanting that, I know a lot of you guys aren't even going to be watching this video, but hit 500 likes and I will drop it as soon as it possibly can. So with all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every single one of you guys. It has been your boy Xehther, and I am out. Peace.